Giga Chikadze versus Jamey Simmons. We got minus 485 on Giga Chikadze and plus 350 on the UFC newcomer Jamey Simmons. Why they made this fight, I have absolutely no idea. The only thing I could come up with is the fact that this fight card was at 10 fights. They had Felipe Colares and Gustavo Lopez fall out, so they wanted to keep it at 10 fights or at least at 11. And yeah, it makes absolutely no sense as to why they signed Jamey Simmons. So let's start off with Jamey Simmons. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. He got 2 quick victories in November and December of last year. Quick finishes, both of them coming with pretty much within a minute. 36 seconds for the first one, a minute and 4 seconds for the other one. But there unfortunately is no tape on the second last fight. I do have footage on his Cody Garnis fight, Terrence Almond, and then Morgan Sickinger, which is his last fight. Let's go quickly one by one. The Cody Garnis one, that one looked like the kid just was out of his league. Jamey Simmons goes out there, slams the kid, and it looks like his head kind of hits the canvas, and he's kind of not out, but like pretty much given up at that point. And we see Jamey Simmons follow up with some ground and pound to get the victory there. And then the Terrence Almond fight, like he just pretty much ragdolled that guy. But there were some sketchy moments when, Almond was able to reverse positions pretty much with no technique. He just pretty much strengthed his way out of it. It was pretty much, or muscled his way out of it. There's no way that there was any technique used in that. But for the most part, Jamey Simmons was the one on top, doing some solid damage, so he was able to go out there and get the decision victory. After that, he got kneed in 13 seconds at LFA. Then he goes on his 2-fight winning streak. And then the most recent one I have is Morgan Sickinger, where there's only a minute of footage, so it's not a lot to get into there. But that was as soon as Jamey landed a big shot, it seemed like Morgan wanted out of there, and Jamey was able to get the victory. Let's talk a little bit more about Jamey. So his background is wrestling, and I did go through his I Googled his name with his wrestling background, and I found something from the University of Wisconsin, I believe it is. Let me see if I can pull that up for you guys one more time. Probably should have had that ready to go, but here we go. University of Wisconsin. So what they have on Jamey Simmons is they have his high school. They say he's a 3-time letter winner, 3-time first-time all-conference wrestler, 2-time state qualifier. Highest finish was 4th. Holds school record for takedowns in a season and career, and most wins in a career. Only athlete to be first-team all-conference in 3 sports, football, wrestling, and baseball, for 2 consecutive years. And then he has the highest winning percentage in school history, which is 118-14 in wrestling. Then in his 2011-2012 campaign at University of Iowa, he went 4-5 at 149 pounds, finished 3rd in the Wisconsin States, I believe it is. And then in 2012-2013, he wrestled at 157 pounds and finished the season with a 22-12 record, 2nd team All-Wisconsin honoree. So it's obvious that he wants to go out there and wrestle. That's kind of his game plan. Unfortunately for him, he hasn't really found his weight class. And given his size, he's standing at 5'5". He should probably be a 135er. And he has actually fought down at 135 before. I believe that was a while back though. Like he hasn't fought at 135 since, let's see. Cody Garnis was at 155. The Terrence Almond fight, so that was the fight that he won via decision. That was down at 135. Then his LFA fight was at 145, 155 for the next fight after that, and then back to 145. So he's like up and down, and obviously he's making his UFC debut now at 145 pounds against Giga Chikadze, who's a 6-foot, 145 pounder. 6 foot with 74-inch reach. Obviously, we don't have a reach yet on Jamey Simmons, but he's 5'5", so he's dealing with a pretty significant height disadvantage. Just for reference, if you guys going to want to go watch it, Giga Chikadze versus Erwin Rivera. Erwin Rivera was 5'6". So that's just something to think about there. But yeah, Giga Chikadze should absolutely style on this kid. Maybe he gets a takedown in the first round, but it doesn't seem like he has the cardio to deal with a guy like Giga Chikadze. Yeah, he's gotten a decision victory over a guy that was 5-5. let's not read too much into that. I think he's going to have a much more difficult time, one, closing the distance, because he's going to have to eat a lot of kicks, a lot of punches, a lot of, knees up the middle. He's going to have to eat a lot of those to try to get to the legs of Giga Chikadze and try to get him down. And then Giga, like, say what you want about him just being a kickboxer, he's done a really good job of getting back to his feet whenever he gets taken down or even slips or something like that. Like we saw in the Omar Morales fight, we saw Giga Chikadze try to pull off a judo throw of some sort, fails on that, drops, and Morales gets back on top of him. And we see Giga Chikadze use the cage very, very well, get back to his feet, and didn't really allow Omar Morales to land much from the top position either. So, even the Jamal Emmers fight, if you want to go back to that fight, he got taken down in that fight, but we see him, get back to his feet, even reverse Jamal Emmers too. That was very, very impressive in my opinion. So this is one of those spots where I was like, okay, another late minute fight put together. Like Giga Chikadze wasn't really even scheduled to fight anybody here. So I was kind of surprised as to why he took the fight on roughly a week's notice. Like this got pretty much put together a week before the fight, 7 days before the fight that this got put together. So not sure why Giga wanted to take it, probably just get another paycheck. This would be his third fight in the COVID era, all within 6 months. So good for him to be able to go out there and get 3 solid paychecks. And it's looking like he's probably going to pick up a performance of the night bonus as well, too. I think this is the first time we're going to see Giga Chikadze get a finish inside the octagon, and it's taken him 5 fights now to get to it. But I think this is the perfect matchup for him to go out there and get it. So I don't think Jamey Simmons has the cardio to go all 15 minutes. He's going to be struggling to try to get Giga down, and then he's just going to eat a bunch of shots on the way in. So it's going to be really tough for him to close the distance. Giga currently minus 485. I expect that to get up even higher. I'd like to see what the inside the distance looks like. For the fight to not go to decision is currently minus 195. I expect that to get a little bit juicier too. If I can get Giga Chikadze better than minus 200 to win inside the distance, I'm probably going to take at least a 2-unit shot on that to profit 1 unit. I think this is a surefire spot, just as good as Adrian Yanez over Victor Rodriguez last week, and even Charlie Ontiveros losing to Kevin Holland. I think it's kind of that level with Giga Chikadze being able to get a finish here. See, Erwin Rivera, a lot of people might give Giga Chikadze flack for not being able to finish him, but this Jamey Simmons guy is not Erwin Rivera level. And Erwin Rivera is like just UFC level. Jamey Simmons has not fought anybody near UFC level, and he's going to be in for a really rude awakening when he steps in there against a high-level fighter like Giga Chikadze. I'm expecting Giga Chikadze probably by like a highlight reel finish here. So I like Giga. I'm going to take him to win inside the distance, whether it's first or second round. I truly think he gets it done. I don't see him playing, with his food and playing patty cake from the outside. I truly think that we'll see him catch Jamey on the way in and get a beautiful finish. So I'm going with either Giga Chikadze first or second round finish.